And so I've had a few conversations with people in the past about low power solutions in IoT and the focus on bringing the power down. As you mentioned, what are the benefits of doing that? Like how are low power solutions playing a role in IoT? Are there certain applications that are benefiting from that? That it's being like the bringing the power down is helping increase adoption around, or just talk us through kind of that frame of things.
That's an interesting topic, and it's been going on for years. But the belief, according to a lot of market reports, is that IoT is going to have about 27 billion connected devices by about 2025. Now, you might see different reports that have slightly different numbers, but they're all in that context. And what's also happened is during the COVID period, you've noticed that a lot of those IoT devices have moved faster into the home market. And this is, because people are surrounded by their environment and they're realizing what they want to be connected to and the benefits that those IoT devices come. Now, the caveat of this IoT adoption is that, the majority of IoT devices might have a battery in them. There's about 3 billion batteries every year sent to landfill. That's about 100 batteries per second. Now, what's the problem there? Well, the problem there is, of course, that the housings of those batteries in time, they break down, and then you start getting the leaching of the toxic chemicals into the local water tables, into the food supplies, and so forth. So generally speaking, the IoT adoption, while it's a good thing for people generally, it can be a bad thing for the environment. And down the road, we all get to pay for those problems.
Yeah, so I was moving to the next question. I was going to ask you about the growth of connected devices and how that battery waste is affecting things, right? Like it's having a big impact, as you mentioned, and it's something that does need to be thought about as scale of these solutions grows, as more solutions are and products are adopted. Um, and I think it's critical for companies to start thinking about sustainability when it comes to these things. So how do you recommend companies who are conscious of this to approach adoption with IoT? Like how do they still go down the route of adopting solutions that are going to benefit their business, benefit their customers, but still keep the sustainability element in mind, the battery waste pieces in mind? Like, well, what can be done on their end? And then from a company perspective, what can be done to help make this less of a concern, I guess?
The sustainability option is actually not a complicated path to go down. It's very easy to design with sustainability in mind. There are a lot of options to do the right thing, if you will. The reality of it is, though, there's a lot of history about not going down those paths. And so it can be the path of least resistance is the path of choice. But then the other good news is that a lot of the very big tier one type customers out there, market leaders out there, they are putting sustainability programs in place that are requiring their companies to move to this more sustainable path. And that's the path where we're making ourselves available to. So, again, jumping back to you asked what our company does, the design of our part is intended to reduce the number of batteries in a product. If we can get a product to energy harvesting, that's actually the golden milestone that we're trying to get to. But take the TV remote control as an example. We would like to see the TV remote control become like the calculator did when you and I were back in school. All the calculators out there have got this little window in the corner, which was the solar cell. It's actually hard to get a calculator now that doesn't have that. Well, the remote controls, that was one of the directions that we were going to, and we are doing very good at that. Bear in mind that a remote control in its life probably lasts 7 to 10 years. In that time, a battery change by the consumer might happen 6 or 7 times. 6 or 7 times, that's 12 to 14 batteries based on every remote control having 2. If we can get that to a single battery for the lifetime of the product, that's a substantial change on the sustainability path. It doesn't mean we've solved everything, but it is a substantial change. But what you can also see going back one or two CESs, the Consumer Electronics Show that's held in Vegas, you can see that a lot of these remote controls now are completely doing away with the batteries. They're putting solar technology or photovoltaic technology onto the remote control. They may be doing RF harvesting. They may be doing some other techniques out there, but fundamentally there is a good path by these tier one guys to actually make a difference.